Hi, my name is Bridget Murray, and I decided to do this week's presentation on chickpeas. So, a little bit of the history of the chickpea. The origin of the chickpea dates back thousands of years. Remains date back to 7,500 years ago to the Middle East and other areas of Europe. Chickpeas are used in a variety of dishes. One of the main dishes is hummus. The word chickpea is derived from Latin. The Latin word for chickpea is Caesar, and chickpea has been found in an English print dating all the way back to 1338. And on religious views, when after researching, they do not really have any correlation to any religious groups, is what I found. Moving on to the nutrients of a chickpea. This is in regards to 1 cup of chickpeas. They are 269 calories. They have 14.5 grams of protein, so they're extremely high in protein. They have 4 grams of fat, 45 grams of carbs, and 12.5 grams of fiber. A little bit about the relationship to disease. So, after I did some research, I learned that they are extremely beneficial for our health. Chickpeas can be found in and aid in helping supporting blood regulation. So, it was found that people who consume 300-gram cans of chickpeas, that was, excuse me, showed a reduction in a fasting insulin level. Chickpeas also are beneficial for digestion, and then certain chronic diseases are possibly prevented as well. Some of those that were listed were heart disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Um, Lastly, chickpeas had a wow, helping in people's brain health. Chickpeas contain choline, which is an important factor for brain function. The quality of chickpeas. Chickpeas are a healthy plant grown option for us. Like I just kind of mentioned in the last slide, that they're extremely beneficial. But I'd say one of the only downsides is that, like many plant grown foods, certain pesticides can be used to grow them, and then these pesticides are harmful. So it is important to wash your chickpeas before preparing them. And it's also crucial to properly cook your chickpeas, because after I looked into it, uncooked chickpeas contain a toxin that can potentially cause food poisoning. So basically, I mean, any chickpeas that you get, you can strain them and run water over them, and that'll basically kind of help with that. And you should be fine. They're very naturally grown. They're very good for you. So I saw a few ways to prep chickpeas. One of the main ones was cooking the dried chickpeas. And so there are multiple methods to cook the dried chickpea. One way is in a long soak and simmer over the stove top, which takes about 10 hours, or overnight plus 2 hours. So that's really one of the longer processes, but you don't have to do that. Um, you can do a quick soak and simmer on the stove, which takes about 3 hours, which is still pretty long, but it ultimately is worth it. And then in the slow cooker, you cook 4 hours on high heat or 8 hours on low heat, and then in a pressure cooker or in a pressure cooker for about 1 hour. And then moving on to my thoughts. So I ended up really enjoying chickpeas. They really don't have too much of a distinct taste, in my opinion, but there was just enough taste for me to give my opinion. The texture was a little odd. They were very like grainy, but I honestly didn't dislike that. Like, it didn't make me dislike them. And then they reminded me of kind of like a peanut with like a little bit of like, I'd say a almost buttery taste. Um, but yeah, I really liked them, and I would definitely try them again. So here's a picture of the chickpeas that I tried. I just went to the dining hall and got these. I ended up going back to, they were near the salad bar, and I ended up going back and adding them into my salad. So that was one way to try them, and that was really good. And also, I've had them in hummus, and so I really like hummus. And so yeah, overall, I really like chickpeas. So, my social and cultural outtake, it was interesting to research chickpeas and see that they're extremely popular in the Middle East. I've never had chickpeas before this class. I've had hummus, but never a chickpea by itself. I also didn't even realize chickpeas were commonly used in hummus, which might sound stupid, but I just didn't even realize that. Um, but that was something I had to learn through this class. But going back to my culture and my perspective, I've seen chickpeas in the grocery store or restaurants, but I've never thought they are common food here. I've realized that they are a big part of everyday cultures in Middle Eastern Europe area, and they have important value to the people who consume them every day. To me, chickpeas were just another food, not really something I've looked into, and I don't really know a ton of people that are love chickpeas as well, but um or really intake them a lot. But chickpeas are considered inexpensive, so they are good food for people who do not have a decent income. And in a lot of these Middle Eastern countries, you'll see that they're kind of third world countries, or there's not really a whole lot of income coming to certain families, so they kind of have to make do with what they have. And so chickpeas are a good option because they're inexpensive and primarily grown in those countries, and they're a good source of protein. So yeah, it was really neat to see that. And lastly, these are my sources. Thank you.